Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Uncle Matt here, and it is a stormy, rainy night here in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know if you catch the lightning there, but today's video, we're bringing something back. We're reviving an old thing from the channel. It is going to be a Marvel Monday. We're recording this on a Sunday. Jesta and I are going to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 tonight, and this is going to be kind of like, it's a little different than our previous Marvel Mondays. The previous Marvel Mondays were me and Nephew P doing a rewatch of the early, first wave Infinity Saga movies, basically just watching them on the couch and then giving our recaps. Today, Jess and I, we're going to an actual movie theater. We're actually going to go out and be social people, but it's a little bit like, I don't know if Jess is really cute on this yet. I haven't talked to her about this yet, but we're going to Chewy's first here at Opry Mills Mall. And one of our very first dates was we went to Chewy's for dinner and then saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is a terrible movie, here at Opry Mills. So this is kind of a throwback to a previous Marvel Monday that was a Marvel Monday before it was a Marvel Monday, and I don't even think it was on a Monday, but this time it's going to be Marvel Monday. So let's go get some Chewy's. Let's go see if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 brings the MCU back to prominence, because the recent stuff has not been so great. I actually haven't seen like the last 3 or 4 movies. I got to catch up on those, but I'm a big fan of the Guardians series, so had to get to see this one. Didn't want to risk any spoilers, so Chewy's, Guardians, Marvel Monday, we're back. All right, so I'm not a drinker, but I've heard these little like floater drinks where they put a beer inside a margarita are really good, so I got one of those. Jess, on the other hand, is a huge drinker, and she's like, bring me all the beverages.
I have no beer.
I know, that's what's weird about how mine got here so much faster than yours. All right, here we go. I guess this is how you drink this. I'm not a drinker. These things don't always sit well with me. So I have these alcoholic things that all the alcoholics drink, and they don't always work well with me.
Are the heaviest drinker I know.
Alright, so since we're going to the movie, we're keeping it basically pretty simple with just the chips and dip. This jalapeno ranch dip is like the best thing in the world. I could eat this all day long. It's like, this is kind of the first thing I really ate that I liked it was spicy, and now my palate has grown and I can eat more spicy stuff, but just also ordered some of the queso, so I'm going to try some of that. I don't know if I've ever had their queso before. Here we go. Bon appetit. It's like a watery version of like Chewy's queso. You said you thought it was something different. I think everything you've thought about this place, you must be confusing Chewy's with somewhere else. You're like, oh. She's like, oh, the white dip is what I want. And they're like, nope, no, I don't like the white dip. It's too spicy. And you're like, I'm gonna order the queso. And you're like,
it was like a white queso that was like kind of like a ranch. I can't remember what it was. It's not this, because this is too spicy.
You seem very confused, and you have messed everything up. Interesting new thing coming to Opry Mills soon. No idea what this could be, but you have my attention. So if you know me, you know I'm not a drinker, but they've got a bar now at the Opry Mills movie theater. So that's cool for the drinkers out there like Jesta, so they can get drinks and have a little alcohol while they watch their movies. This has nothing to do with the movie or anything else going on, but tonight somebody described me as tallish. Huge win for me. Big win for me, because I have never been described as anything close to tall. So tallish, I'll take that all day of the week. I'm actually going to add that to my bio on Twitter. Tallish guy.
Of course, it's good to
Alright, here's the best thing about being at the movie is the legit movie popcorn. Let's do a quick review.
Wampa thing is coming. You're not scared. Show me focused.
Bon appetit.
Oh, good. You get 2 lightsabers? Oh, technically 1, but I can split them. You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Could use more butter, but still good.
I am Linda.
I've reached the buttery part of the popcorn, and it is very good.
You said it wasn't enough butter.
I've reached the butter part. We're good now.
Oh.
5 kernels out of 5. It's really weird. We're just walking through the empty, closed mall after hours. You want an Annie Ann's pretzel?
Thank you. This reminds me of when I used to work at American Eagle. It's always so creepy after hours at the mall.
This is one reason I said, do we need to park in the movie theater? Because back in the day, they used to block off like the mall once it was closed. Like you couldn't come down this way after like 9 o'clock. So, but I guess they don't do that anymore. So, which is good for us because we park down at Chewy's. So we just get to walk through the abandoned ghost mall as we leave. There's a random goose just hanging out in the parking lot here at Opry Mills. Neighborhood goose alert. It is locked into whatever it is doing. It is fully zeroed in, locked in on whatever it is. Uh-oh. Okay, it's getting some water out of the drain there, whatever it's doing. Let's leave this goose be. I've heard nothing but bad things about goose attacks in the wild. Oh, I think it's looking at us. Let's get out of here. I got ducked while we were at the mall. With all the ducking chaos, you are ducking amazing. Thanks. Hashtag ducking Jeep at ducking Jeep. Just got home from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm just gonna say spoiler alert because I don't think there's any way I can talk about the movie without like giving something away or teasing something or spoiling something. Is even like in like the most basic like summary of something, I would give something away. Really torn on the movie because like I enjoyed it as we were watching it. It is emotionally gut-wrenching, particularly if like you are particularly attached to animals. If you've had a recent animal loss in the family, it's definitely a tough watch. Jessica can't even talk about the movie because she's an emotional wreck from it. Yeah. Might have been a few moments of me, little shed a little tears during it, but that's debatable. We don't know. But I enjoyed it in the moment, but like as we were driving home and I was thinking about it, I was kind of like, man, it felt like there was like a lot of, it was being pulled in different directions, so to speak. I'm trying to think of how to make this make sense. It felt like you could almost pick the part of the story that James Gunn, the filmmaker who's made the first two, and now this one, Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you could kind of pick out what was the story he was going to tell him, but it almost felt like there was other stuff that was being pushed into the movie. So spoiler alert, like I said, spoiler, I don't know how to talk about this without giving spoilers. The Adam Warlock portion of the movie felt very like forced in, very rushed, very just like we have to put Adam Warlock in. People have been like begging us to put Adam Warlock in a Guardians movie all this time, so we have to put him in. And so that all felt like very forced in, very just like rushed. Like even at one point in the movie, just like turned to me and goes, "So wait a minute, what is this Adam guy? What is he doing? What's his deal?" And I tried to explain it to her, but I think I even kind of messed up what like his role in the movie was at that point in time. I think I was actually jumping ahead of what his role eventually became in the movie. But that all felt like forced in, very rushed. Weirdly, a lot of like the Peter Quill Star-Lord stuff in this movie felt like kind of forced in because this was a Rocket Raccoon movie that Peter Quill happened to be in. So it felt like somebody somewhere along the way went to James Gunn and was like, hey, Chris Pratt's like the biggest movie star in the world. And like you got to like a CGI raccoon as the star of the movie. You got to do more stuff with Peter Quill in this movie. So there was like, felt like there was some Peter Quill stuff that was like kind of forced into it, which is weird because he's like the main character for like the first two movies and like the whole Guardians franchise. So it'd have to like, I don't know. There was just some weird stuff like that where it felt like there was the main core of the movie and then there was like some other like tacked on stuff that just felt like a little too tacked on. But overall it was good. It was a satisfying conclusion to the Guardians trilogy. Put everything in place to where these characters can either be, kind of retired, done, or if they want to be revived in some form or fashion, they kind of were set up to be, be able to be brought back. They put all the characters in a place where they can either be like, this is how the character story ends and this is where they are. Or if another filmmaker comes along, because James Gunn is obviously moving on to Warner Brothers and DC, he's going to be shepherding the new DC film universe into existence. So if another filmmaker comes along that has found a way to like kind of revive the characters, not revive because, well, spoilers, once again, none of them die. None of the Guardians characters die. So they're all there, that they can be brought back, but they're put in different places where they can all do stuff. The big kind of twist sort of thing at the end, the last, this, once again, spoilers. The last end credit scene, Star-Lord is, having cereal with his grandfather, and it says, legendary Star-Lord will return. So it seems like they've, that seems to me to say that there's going to be either a Star-Lord standalone movie, or Peter Quill Star-Lord will be coming back as a part of whatever the next incarnation of the Avengers will be, which makes sense because I think one of the problems the post-Endgame MCU has had is this new generation of characters hasn't clicked. They haven't had the same level of like charisma, the level of charm that, the Tony Stark, Chris Evans characters did. I haven't seen Black Panther yet. That was one thing I was worried about. I haven't seen Black Panther. We haven't seen the new Ant-Man. So I was like, are we going to miss anything by having not seen those before seeing Guardians? But no, Guardians is like basically the only thing you need to see before you see Guardians. The first two Guardians and the Guardians Christmas special. What's the Guardians Christmas special is awesome. Way better than this movie was. But yeah, so I'm going to have to go back and watch Black Panther and watch Ant-Man now to kind of catch up. But I think that's been the problem with the MCU is like they haven't found the new generation of characters that are clicking the same way the first generation clicked. So like Shang-Chi, like nobody in that movie, like the Eternals was super boring. Like I could care less if any of those characters ever show up ever again. Shang-Chi was fine, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see another Shang-Chi movie. Even Doctor Strange, like, he was a lot blander than he was. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange was way better in Infinity War and Endgame than he has been in either of the Doctor Strange movies, which I guess that maybe says something to the filmmakers that made the standalone Doctor Strange movies compared to who made the Avengers movies. I don't know. It feels like I'm rambling at this point in time. We're just going on and on and on and on. I'll reiterate, enjoyed it. It's probably third out of third for the Guardians movies. I think Guardians 1 is still better. Guardians 2 is probably better, but this one was, it's fine. Definitely, this is the least rewatchable Guardians movie just because the emotional gut punch of the animal stuff is just, that's not going to be something you're going to want to come back and rewatch. So Guardians 1, you can watch that over and over and over again. Guardians 2, you can probably rewatch that one a little bit more unless you have like, parental issues that I'm lucky enough to have not experienced. But this one is just like, everybody's going to have, I think, should have experienced like some kind of emotional connection to animals. And this movie will make you, you're not going to want to rewatch this one the way you would like Guardians Volume 1. So, I don't know. All right, so that's going to do it for Marvel Monday, the revival. We're back, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think I'd give the movie 3 stars because it was a good movie, but it could have been better. Like, I feel like this, like I said, the stuff they tacked on, I felt not only felt tacked on, but also forced them to kind of rush through some other stuff. Like, I felt like they had to rush the High Evolutionaries, like, kind of whole story. Like, they didn't really flesh him out enough as a villain because they had to add in this other stuff and stuff like that. And then it's just like, the emotional toll that all the animal stuff has is really, really tough. So 3 stars. It's better than I think some of the recent MCU stuff has been, particularly the TV shows. Like the TV shows on Disney Plus kind of went off a cliff after like Loki. Loki was pretty good. And then since Loki, it's all kind of just been like, so, we'll see. We got the Marvels coming up later this summer. I got to go back. We're going to have a new Marvel Monday coming soon because I'm going to go back, watch Black Panther, watch Ant-Man. I feel like there's a third movie that I missed somewhere that I haven't seen yet, somewhere in the sequence, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. But there might be a few that we watched that we didn't do Marvel Mondays for. So we might just do a complete Marvel Monday catch-up coming sometime in the next couple weeks. So I think these are probably like the least popular videos we've ever done. I think Marvel Monday, the first Doctor Strange movie, was the least video I've ever had on the channel. I think I actually had to check and see did I actually publish this or is it just sitting there private? Because I think it had 2 views ever, but whatever. I like watching the Marvel movies. I like talking about them. So I'm going to do these videos when I have the chance to do them. So more Marvel Monday will be coming when I get caught up on Black Panther and Ant-Man. Marvel's coming out later this year. And then just the MCU is just going to keep rolling on. I think, and I was talking to Kyle, my buddy Kyle, recently about this. I think they should have like really put the pedal to the metal on getting the X-Men into the MCU as soon as Disney acquired Fox. Like the fact that we, at this point in time, still don't have any concrete information about how the X-Men are going to be integrated into the MCU, other than we know there's a MCU Deadpool movie coming that will have the Hugh Jackman Wolverine somehow featured in it, which I'm sure it'll be some kind of like weird, wonky, comedic, twisty, multiversal thing. But it's like, as soon as they got the X-Men, they should have put the X-Men into the MCU as quickly as they possibly could. Because that's what, when you lose Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, when you lose Chris Evans as Captain America, and when you don't have as much access to Spider-Man as you probably should have, because Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man, you have to always get them on board every time you want to do something with Spider-Man. As soon as you have the X-Men, do the X-Men. Because like the X-Men are the biggest property that Marvel probably has had that they haven't been able to tap into yet. So I feel like that's maybe where they missed the ball a little bit with the MCU recently, is not hitting the ground running and just throwing the X-Men in there. But I mean, take your time, figure it out, make sure you're doing it the right way. But get the X-Men in. The X-Men are like the biggest property you have, and you're just like sitting on it and like putting out Shang-Chi movies for some reason. And the Eternals by far the worst MCU movie. Rambling at this point in time. Thanks for watching, as always. More to come on the channel. Marvel Mondays, catching up. We'll be doing that soon. So if you hated this one, apologies. There's more to come. I'll see you at Taco Bell. All right, bonus content. This is leaving Marvel Monday and moving into DC Day. I don't know what that would be called. But so James Gunn, who directed all 3 of the Guardians movies, is now the new kind of essentially like the Kevin Feige for DC, trying to help relaunch their film universe. He's starting off with a Superman movie that he's writing, and I don't know if he's officially confirmed if he's directing it yet or not, but he's writing it for sure. I've enjoyed everything he's done. All 3 Guardians are very good. Peacemaker show, Suicide Squad have been very good. But there's something that alarmed me in Guardians that kind of sent up a warning sign for me for concern for him taking over the DC universe. And that's that his wife is cast in a prominent role in Peacemaker. And then she pops up in kind of like a side role in this movie. And the actor who plays the High Evolutionary also has a prominent role in Peacemaker. So it's like, yeah, okay, directors, writers, casting same actors, the same performers in multiple projects. Shut up. It's fine. But if you're casting people just to cast them, particularly with his wife, that is concerning to me. That it's like, are you going to put your wife in every movie? Is she going to show up and be Lois Lane in the new Superman movie? That's just a tiny little bit of a concern. But, the movies he made have all been good. But, it's a little bit like, do you got to throw all your buddies and everything? His brother's in all the movies that he makes and everything, too. So it's kind of like, if we give him too much control, too much power, and he can just cast whoever he wants, is he just going to cast all his friends and his family members and his wife's? Minor concern. But, hey, when the DC movies from James Gunn come out, we're definitely going to talk about it on the channel. So we'll see if our concerns were warranted then.